Hey everybody, it's Beth. I took this 32-ounce glass mason jar and painted the entire outside of it with Snow White chalk paint by Waverly. I used a sponge to apply the paint and gave it 2 full coats. I had originally not painted the top section of the jar, but I end up going back later on and touching that up. So the entire outside did get covered with 2 coats. Once that was dry, I take a toothbrush and dip it in some burnt umber acrylic paint, and then take a paintbrush and tap the back of the toothbrush, splattering the paint onto the jar. I have done this before with a paintbrush instead of a toothbrush, but it tends to splatter back at you as well. So the toothbrush works well, just splattering it forward. So I cover the entire outside of the jar, and then take the same burnt umber acrylic paint and paint the lid. I started with a paintbrush, and on the second coat, the paintbrush was taking off some of the paint, so I went back in with a second coat using a sponge. And then took Dishwasher Safe Mod Podge and applied a layer of that to the jar and the lid. This next part, I was originally going to use a rub-on transfer sunflower, but I started to use it and it was pulling off the paint, so I touched that up and then switched it out with this scrapbook paper I got from Temu. I cut out the sunflower from the paper, applied a layer of Mod Podge, and placed down the sunflower, dried it with my heating tool, and just pushed the paper down as I went to make sure it was fully adhered to the jar. I also went in with some saran wrap to push that down, make sure it was nice and smooth, and then went in with an outer layer of Mod Podge and dried all of that completely. And this is where I touch up the top of the jar. Originally, I thought the lid would cover it and you wouldn't see it, but the inside you could see, and I didn't like that. So I painted that and then added the Mod Podge and then placed back on the lid. And that is it for this project. Thank you so much for watching.